Hi Stampers, I'm Nancy from StampinShout.com. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This week I am making cards and videos and I'm sharing them with you, and I'm using some of the free goodies that I earned during Sale-a-bration, like the Textures and Frames stamp set. If you like this video, please let me know by giving me a thumbs up or commenting below. And if you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe. You can press the subscribe button below, and there's a bell for notifications. And if you need any of the stamping supplies that you see for this project here, you can visit my online store and there will be links below. So let's get started. So here is the card that we're going to make. And again, I'm using Textures and Frames. I'm using some of the pretty sheer red ribbon. And here are the colors that I'm using: Garden Green, Real Red, Crumb Cake, and Granny Apple Green. And I'm going to try the Versamark on this card. So you'll see what I mean when we get going. Also going to change this up a little bit. I'm going to have for this card that we're making a Whisper White card base that's 8.5 by 5 1/4. It's 8.5 by 5 1/2, and I scored it at 4 1/4. I have two stamping pieces in the white that are 5 by 3 3/4, and then I'm going to use matte pieces in Granny Apple Green, and these are 5 1/4 by 4. Got one for the front and one for the inside. So let's start stamping. I'm going to bring in a scrap piece of paper, and I'm using the solid stamp that's in this set for the ornaments that we're going to be stamping. And then I'm going to bring in from Penguin Place, I'm going to bring in this little piece, this little stamp right there, and I'm going to use that for the little ornament hangers. So you'll see what I mean. So I'm going to start off with Garden Green. And I'm just going to ink this up and start stamping. So I kind of just guessed where to stamp, and if you go up towards the top, you just want to make sure that you have room for the little ornament hanger. Right. Then I'm going to bring in that little stamp, and I'm using Crumb Cake. I'm using Crumb Cake because it kind of looks like gold when you have it on your card, like almost like a champagne-y color. You could emboss this with gold embossing powder, but like I said, I think this works just fine. And if you're going to make lots of Christmas cards, you want to kind of keep it, some of them you want to keep a little bit easier. So this Crumb Cake works just great. Okie doke. So now what I want to do is bring in Versamark, and I'm going to clean that stamp pad one more time. I'm going to go ahead and stamp over all these images with Versamark. And then I'm going to bring in my clear embossing powder. So now I want to heat that clear embossing powder, and we'll see what happens. It's very, very shiny now, very pretty. So when we glue it down, it's a little bit crooked, the paper, but it'll all flatten out. That's never a problem with the Versamark. So let's finish, and we'll put it together and see what it looks like. So now what I need to do is stamp that sentiment this one right here. And how I did that was I just brought in a scrap of white, and I used the die cut that's in the Tasteful Labels. So that's my little package of my Tasteful Labels dies, and I used that little circle. And then I used the Merry Christmas, and that is from the stamp set for Unto Us. I used the Merry Christmas because I knew that that would fit just perfectly inside this little circle. And this little circle, I like the little edges on it. It's kind of got a little texture, a little zigzag. So I thought it would be pretty. So let's just go ahead and stamp this right here. Like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. So I will be right back. Okay, so I cut that circle out. And we'll just put our card together now. So I'm going to bring in dimensional and pop that up right in the center. Like that. And then I'm going to bring in my bow and my glue dots. So we'll put that bow right on the top of that little ornament, like that. And then I'll bring in the matte piece. Glue that to our card front. Oh, it's pretty, very pretty. So let's look at the difference in these two. Now this one doesn't have the shiny Versamark embossed on it, you know, the clear powder, and this one does. They're both really, really pretty. It's just a matter of preference, but I thought I would give it a try. And I like them both. How about you? Which one do you like, the Granny Apple Green or the red? Make sure you leave me comments and come back tomorrow because I'm going to have another video at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. And visit my blog, www.stampandshout.com. Don't be shy. Stamp and Shout.